So I'm not sure how many people will actually watch this video. I understand I'm not a well-liked person. People think that it's about flip-flopping or anything like that. It's not about that. For me, this is about something that I heard from a couple of people who are very trustworthy, in addition to a lot of the rumors that have been going around about Xbox lately, and it's not a good thing at all. To be quite honest with you, I think that this is probably the worst thing that could happen to Xbox. It might even be worse than if they just stopped altogether, right? And I'm going to get into the whys and the hows and things like that. So, anyway, so as some of you guys start looking at this, right? And we kind of start looking at kind of what's happening. I want to kind of get into it. So, as you all know, there was a Wells Fargo summit in late November of 2023. Tim Stewart, the CFO of Microsoft, said that there was a bit of a change in strategy for Microsoft Gaming, the division that houses Xbox, and Microsoft's overall gaming efforts. He said, not announcing anything broadly here, but our mission is to bring our first-party experiences and our subscription services to every screen that can play games. That means smart TVs, that means mobile devices, that means what we would have thought of as competition and competitors in the past, like PlayStation and Nintendo. So a lot of people kind of forgot about this or whatever, basically because Phil Spencer did come out and say, yeah, we're not putting Game Pass on PlayStation and things like that, which is accurate. So to be honest with you, when it comes down to this, right? When it comes down to kind of what I'm saying is this. They're basically going to release the whole slate. And now originally we've been hearing Hi-Fi Rush, we've heard Sea of Thieves, there's been whispers of Halo, but as of today, hearing things like Starfield, hearing things like, the next Doom game, whether or not, whatever the case may be, Doom Year Zero or whatever that is, Flight Simulator, just like the whole slate of games going to PlayStation. So this really does something to me as someone who's been a hardcore Xbox fan all this time. Now, the people that I talk to, and I've talked to a couple people, and I know people are going to go, you don't know anybody, you don't know blah, 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 blah. Man, you can ask a lot of people. I have, a couple friends in the industry from my earlier years on doing shows about Xbox One and things like that. Someone who just left Blizzard told me rent is due. The ROI, which is the return on investment, is not high enough for Microsoft right now. And so they believe that the casual gamer will buy an Xbox regardless. And they're not worried if they sell less consoles because they think they're going to make up for that money by selling these games on PlayStation and Nintendo consoles. So basically, they don't care if they sell 10 million consoles and that's it, because they're gonna. It's all about dollars and cents to them, right? So basically, what I'm trying to get across to you guys is the console thing is important. We've known that they've said for a long time now they don't care how many consoles they're selling, but to be honest with you, I think that they are of the belief that people are going to stick around and stay on Xbox with no exclusive content, and I don't think that that's going to be the case. So I believe that they've leaked like this is happening, right, to certain people, like it's got like a controlled leak, and those leaks have come out to sort of prepare the fans for what's going to inevitably happen. So if you look at remember when this started a couple months ago or whatever, and it was that As Dusk Falls games. That's a game owned by Microsoft, right? It is a third-party game. It's an indie game, but Microsoft owns the IP, and they are allowing that to go to PlayStation. Okay, well, fair enough. It's a small 10-person dev team. Microsoft doing a solid to them like they did with the Ori folks, back in the day on the Switch. Ori 1 and 2 both went to the Switch. So, they also had the publishing rights to Cuphead, but they allowed them to put that game on the Switch and PlayStation as well, despite the fact that they own the rights to publish it. So, they were doing a solid. That's different than a first-party game like, Hi-Fi Rush, which people go, well, more people would be able to play it. Well, why can't they play it on Xbox or PC or through the cloud, right? Why does it have to go to PlayStation where Sony takes 30% of every game sold and they turn around and reinvest that into games to keep off of Xbox, like Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, Stellar Blade, Silent Hill 2, All these games that they're getting that are exclusive and they're not first party, they're paying for that, right? And they're going to pay for that this way. So basically, Microsoft is help facilitating Sony to be able to go out there and, have even more exclusive games while also simultaneously getting all the best Xbox games too. It's like the best of both worlds. Now, here's the other thing that you might not have thought of, and I get it. People are going to hate me, maybe unsubscribe, whatever. Hardly anybody watches my channel anyway, so it is what it is. But I have no reason to lie about this stuff. It's upsetting. Everybody is now posting. Whenever Sarah Bond posts something, whenever somebody from Xbox posts something, it's all flooded with people talking about this and saying, why are you doing this, etc., etc. This is going to blow up worse than the Xbox One stuff with TV, and, all that kind of stuff, and the DRM. This is worse than that, because this will literally lead to the death of Xbox. And I know what some people might go, you're a grown man and you're worried about this console war stuff. It's not console war, right? To be honest with you, it's not. Nobody else is doing this. Sony's not doing this. Nintendo's not going to be putting games on Xbox, so it's only going one way. The other thing is, what happens is when you start having less and less sales of your console, right? While console sales may not be the most important thing, it's still important to be competitive in that area, in the area of sales, because that way you get third-party support. Third parties aren't going to want to support a platform that doesn't hardly have an install base. Ask the Wii U, right? I'm just being honest. I get that it was quote-unquote underpowered, but the reason why third parties dropped it was because nobody bought the thing. So, that's a thing to worry about. The other thing is the Xbox Series X is a very powerful console, more powerful than the PlayStation 5 by a margin, and it has things built in that PlayStation 5 doesn't have, but hardly any developer is taking advantage of this, and most are just porting games straight from the PS5 to the Xbox Series X, and that's why a lot of the PS5 games are running better. So can you imagine? It really wouldn't matter what their what hardware Microsoft did, how powerful it was, because you're just going to get something that's going to run about the same or even a little bit worse than the PlayStation hardware, because they're porting it, because it's not worth putting on there, doing the Xbox version, because hardly anybody has one, right? Microsoft is going to be doing the bare minimum from hardware from now on. They're going to be doing digital stuff. They're going to be doing, their next consoles aren't going to have a disk drive. We're going to be sitting in a situation where this PS5 Pro comes out, and they're going to be running Starfield at 60 frames per second. It's a real issue, and I know people aren't going to believe it or whatever, and that's fine. But the things that are going on right now are not very good. It's one of those things that really is starting to hit home. And I've double checked with multiple people, and this will break out soon, and I'm sure I won't get credit. And I told people, even on Twitter, bookmark this because it's happening. Starfield, all these games are going to end up on PlayStation. Microsoft is still going to make hardware, but it's not going to be hardware that's quote-unquote the most powerful. It's not going to have a disk drive. They're not worried about any of that stuff, because at the end of the day, they're going to lay this line on us. They're going to ask us why we're upset because more people get to play the games, and they're going to say that it's our choice whether we want to play it on, and they're going to go back to say, oh, we always said this. We don't care where people play it. It could be on a phone, it could be on a PlayStation, it could be on a Nintendo, it could be on a PC or on an Xbox. They're trying to go that Google type of route, that Samsung route, and it's super unfortunate, to say the least. This is kind of heartbreaking, to be honest with you. I know it's not a flip-flop thing. I'm not flip-flopping to PlayStation. It really has little to nothing to do with PlayStation. It has to do with Xbox, right? Can you imagine how things are going to be if there's no competition there? And there will be no competition without exclusive content. So, yeah, this is unfortunate, heartbreaking. They don't respect the core gamer is what it is. They don't. To them, the metrics all have to do with other things. So, it's a real shame. I don't know. It's bad. So, let me know what you guys think. What is your guys' plan? Does the PS5 Pro look better to you now? Because could you imagine playing Starfield at 60 frames on a PS5 Pro? What a slap in the face that is to Xbox fans. Right? Like, this is apparently something that's in the works and happening. Let me know. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure doing videos. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.